Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the Recruiting Gym's daily stand-up. Today we have Catherine Robinson. She is our sourcing coach and LinkedIn training specialist in the Recruiting Gym. And as you know, I normally do a little riff of Paradise City, but Catherine has been working on her own set of lyrics. So take it away, Catherine.
Some people want to panic buy. They're running down the length of the aisles, Corona.
Oh, look at that. My Sharona. What a fantastic intro. We can tell you've had some spare time.
Yep. That's been going around in my head for about 4 weeks now. So
there we are. It's good. I think we need a bit more of that. Like, I think there's going to be a lot more parodies. I've written new lyrics to Port Hardcastle's 19, so that will be coming on Friday. I'm in the process of rehearsing that at the moment. But I guess the whole point of this, Catherine, we've got to find some humour in the situation to sort of try and help us through.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So what we're doing today is we're just going to be chatting about some of the successes that we can maybe get from the day. The principle of the startup is picking one thing that you can focus on to feel like you've had some success from the day, to feel like there's something that you could control. And so we're covering two things today. First thing we're covering is how do we nurture some of the existing relationships we've got with candidates, especially now we get into the new normal. Last week was, and now this week people are starting to get into a bit more of a rhythm. And next thing, we'll look at some of the sourcing strategies. Clients are still recruiting. The clients I speak to are still getting vacancies come in. So we need to know how to approach those candidates and maybe handle some of the objections that we get from that on a day-to-day as well. So, Catherine, most recruiters have existing candidate relationships. What would your suggestions be to nurture some of those existing relationships?
I think candidates just want to feel like they're still in the loop and that you remember them. So I would definitely have a list somewhere of all the active candidates I've got, that I'm managing at the moment. And I would make sure that they'd all had contact from me, some kind of contact during the week. So, whether that be a phone call, I think a phone call would probably be best. I think people are more likely to take a phone call right now because they're not sat at their desk in a busy office. They're sat at home and they might not have anyone else to talk to. So it's a great time to build that trust and rapport over the phone, which really is the best place, you've got to admit. But
that's really unusual that the phone is going to come back into fashion, maybe.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I've been talking more on the phone over the last week. It just makes sense. I think, we want to hear friendly voices because right now the only person I get to talk to is my partner, which, while that's nice.
He's a nice guy, but so although like we've got two kids that we're homeschooling at the moment, and you know what? Sometimes I wish I just had my wife to talk to. So so there's ups and downs in both sides of things. So I guess. And what type of information do you think candidates would want to be informed of to make them feel like you're thinking of them and their needs?
I think any trends that you're spotting, even if they're not looking great, any information sources that you've found, that are official and reliable, whether that be about the virus, whether that be about, provision for people who perhaps don't have an income right now, anything that you can put together that's going to be useful for someone, I think is really great. Everyone's looking for those kind of resources at the moment, things that can get them through, things that can make them feel a little bit safer or a little bit better informed.
Okay. And I guess part of that is sharing good news, like so things like I'm getting windows fitted today. I'm living in a building site, so I guess there's also things like when you get a vacancy that's in the sphere of what those candidates could do, ringing them up and saying, look, companies are still hiring. This is what they're looking for. This is what they're paying. I just wanted to check. This is what you've told me you want. And what you'll find is that when most people register with an agency, they're very defined in what they're looking for. But when they've been looking longer or uncertainty comes, they might become a little bit more flexible. So it's worthwhile benchmarking. This is what we've got, and this is what you told me you did. you want.
Yeah, even if what you've got isn't what they want, you can still reiterate this is what you told me you wanted, and still say, well, the kind of companies you want to work for and the kind of teams are hiring. It's just a bit of reassurance. It's just a matter of time before they get to a role like yours. So
yeah. And remember, as long as we say it's not perfect, this is what it's got, this is what it hasn't got, we still demonstrate that we listen.
Yeah.
There's one question that I think works really well with candidates in this situation, is just basically asking, has your desire to move gone up or down? There'll be some people who were in very safe jobs that are now in unsafe jobs, so their urgency to move, to find potentially a safe haven, is higher, in which case we hope we're going to find a bit more flexibility. And there's others that are going to hunker down and go, actually, I'm going to want it to be perfect, because actually I know I'm not going to get made redundant. And when it comes to sourcing strategies, Catherine, what would your strategy be if you're reaching out to candidates on LinkedIn or over email in the next few weeks to sort of try and tickle them along, knowing what the mindset of the candidates are?
I suppose I would try to keep my expectations realistic. A lot of more, there will be an element of, as you say, more people looking, but then also more people wanting to hunker down and stick where they are. So I guess I would perhaps adjust my target slightly and say, well, this is a perfect time to grow my network and engage my network. So yeah, I would be looking at, well, can I just grow my number of connections? Can I post updates that get comments and likes?
Right. What type of updates typically get comments? Because I know a lot of recruiters think, right, well, I post my jobs. What else could I post that's of interest?
So at the moment, it's great because we have a lot of world of work related topical stuff going on. Work from home content. Just tell people what your day was like. I got up at this time. This is what I planned to do, but my kids derailed this. What happened to you today? Did your day go to plan? A little journal almost, or updates could be nice. I think
that's quite difficult for some people. I always think, are people really going to be interested in me brushing my teeth? But I guess people are. And I mean, I know yesterday I got up with the best of intentions, but my head blew by about 9:30, and I just literally, the day just disappeared through frustrations and anger and just general disappointment with life. So I'm back and recharged today. But I guess it's sharing those types of things just to let everyone know it's not all perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I sat here yesterday and I had my little to-do list, and each thing that I had to achieve just seemed to be an absolute, I was fighting myself for each thing.
It's like
I've done one thing. Okay, right. I need to give myself some kind of really bonkers reward to make me want to do the next thing, because I wasn't feeling it. I was just like, oh, okay.
It's a bit like flogging yourself in the gym, isn't it? Like, come on, you must do this. It's good for you. It's good for you.
One more rep. Come on, just one more. Okay, yeah, and another one. And another one. Okay, you've got to wait. You can stop.
And I think the key to approaching candidates, Catherine, is not being so direct. This has always been the case. I mean, when we teach our candidate sourcing course, it's about being a bit more consultative. But again, just reaching out to candidates and going, how are you feeling? How secure are you feeling in your current role? What's your enthusiasm for a new opportunity? And that's those types of questions definitely help.
It's also a good opportunity to talk to people about, flexibility, how they want to work. Are you working from home at the moment? Are you enjoying that? Are you not enjoying it? Is it something you've done before? Is this new for you? There's all sorts we can understand from our candidates about the way they like to work just by having this sort of topical conversation that, is probably going to happen. It's a good way of getting under the skin of how someone wants to work.
Yeah, and especially around culture, you could say, well, how do you feel about remote working? What did you miss about working in an office? Sorry, Catherine.
Yeah, how is your company treating it? How is your boss handling you working from home? How does that make you feel? Yeah, there's lots we can understand.
And we learn, and the thing is that once we start learning those things, that gives us other market intelligence to share with candidates and clients. It's almost like no one's got any knowledge about this current situation, and so anything we've got, we share. Makes us look like we're brilliant, where the reality is we know very little in comparison to anyone else as well. So, Catherine, one of the things Daryl said is that if candidates are too flexible in what they're looking for, that clients might become skeptical that those candidates will stick around when the market turns. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's one of those times where it's even more important to get to know our candidates and build trust with them, so that they're honest with us about exactly what it is that they're going to need to help them stick around. Okay. Why exactly is it that they're looking? Is it just because times are hard right now, or do they not have work? I think it's more key than ever to really understand the motivations of our candidates. So those phone calls are going to be so important.
And treating it almost like a registration rather than just clearing them for a vacancy, like getting under the skin of, well, you're flexible, but won't you leave when it changes? What are your motivations behind that?
Yeah.
Also, Vicky's asked a question, and she said, what are the best platforms for sourcing at the moment? Now, what I'd ask is, Vicky, do you want to tell us what skill set you recruit for? Because there's quite a lot to that.
One thing I've been noticing, particularly like browsing around LinkedIn, so many more of those little green dots by people's profile pictures to show that they're online. Right. And isn't that nice? People are actually there, which is just lovely, because quite often I'm wondering, when is the last time this person logged in, or those kind of concerns on LinkedIn, and just, is this person even going to get my message? Are they going to see it? Are they going to respond?
Whoa, hold on, Catherine. So where does this green dot exist? Hang on a minute, because I haven't seen this green dot.
Yeah, so when you're looking at somebody's LinkedIn profile, in like the bottom left hand, of the circle, there's like this little green dot.
Is that over there, right? Their personal picture?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And
Great.
Sometimes it's a green dot, sometimes it's like an outlined green dot, I think. And yeah, it just kind of shows whether the person's active on LinkedIn at the moment.
And that's fantastic, because that means if you send a message, they're logged in order to probably receive it, and you're going to get a quicker response. Where if it's red, you're like, well, they're going to leave it. It's almost like knowing whether they're home or not, and whether you're leaving a voicemail that's going to be picked up soon.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think actually we're all turning to social media and platforms like that to help us deal with this, to communicate with our friends, our families. So it might actually be a little bit of might almost be time to look at Facebook or something, although not for IT and digital, but yeah, I'd definitely be resurrecting a Twitter account or something. Anywhere that aids online collaboration. So I imagine people will be more active on, your GitHub and your Stack Overflow, things like GitHub. If you've got a personal project, you've probably got a tiny bit more time to work on it now. Right. So people might be logging into their accounts there a little bit more often, contributing.
Well, they can get away with it because they're not in the office. So they can have those things open. And I guess you've also got platforms like Reddit. I know a lot of IT people hang out in Reddit in sort of the different forums, and that side of things as well. I think the key
awesome coronavirus meme subreddits that are probably hilarious.
Right. Okay.
So if you spot a good meme, why not share it on Reddit?
Yeah. And the key, Vicky, is work out where your audience is hanging out. That's what you've got to do. That's wherever you're thinking about sourcing, it's where do they congregate together? Digitally today, physically, meetup.com, I think is probably a really good place for a lot of local markets. So if you're looking for developers or in startups or fintech in local markets, that will often help you as well. So that's good. So Catherine, it is only a stand-up. It is short and sharp. So what is your motivational pitch for everyone today? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I think you don't have to get somebody to accept a job today, but I think you do definitely have to grow your network today and have lots of really good quality conversations. That's the key.
Great. And my motivational quote is from Buddha. And he says, misery is optional. So let's choose to be positive today. Let's choose to try and make it happen. I didn't make it happen yesterday, and today I'm going to fix that. So thanks for joining us, Catherine. Thank you very much, everybody. See you soon. Bye.